Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to First and Ted. I am Ted of TED Talks Ball, and this is Aaron of 49er First Takes. And we are live coming to you every Wednesday, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Of course, we're always a couple minutes late just to keep you hanging, make you wonder, build a little drama. But I think we're good to go. Aaron, how are you on this lovely hump day?
I'm okay. We talked off stream. Life can suck, but when it's time to talk Niner ball, I can somehow manage to pull myself together and talk about one of the best things in my life, and that's right now is the 4-0 undefeated 49ers.
Yeah. Like pucker up, Buttercup. But I mean,
That's
I would never
right.
say that to you, but I like to see that you pucker up when we come on.
That's right.
I know for me, it can be therapeutic just to talk and also hang out with somebody who knows you well and always wants your best interest. Would be me. So awesome. Well, obviously tons to talk about. Before we dive in, let's say hi to the folks here in the chat. We've got Laura Cat in the house saying, what's up? Aaron and Ted, LFG, let's F and go. Go Niners, Cowboys week. It's a huge week here. We got Hiroski in the house saying, go Niners. Welcome, Hiroski. Thank you. And he said, can't wait to see Purdy pick Dallas apart under the big lights. Yeah, we beat him last year in the divisional round. There's a lot to unpack around that, and we will get to that eventually here. I don't know if Aaron wants to start on the cards recap first or whatnot. There's tons of stuff going on. So Hursty says the beginning of prime time Purdy. There you go. Well, no, I mean the beginning was the Seahawks game, wasn't it? In Seattle.
Yeah.
So that was
the rib game. That was the rib game where he.
Yeah, the rib. Yeah. It reminds me of a joke. I'll have to tell you. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll tell it off air. Because I don't want to offend people. It's not a dad joke. Unlike silly fun guys jokes that are, not so offensive. It's pretty funny, but it's a little offensive. So Jimmy Perez says, "What's up, Ted and Aaron? Welcome, Jimmy. We got Frank Tom Ocean in the house. What's up, TNA? Pause.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Nation from Brian Barnes. What's up, Brian? Welcome to the show. I don't think we've met before.
Brian Barnes, you got to say that one right. That's a tongue twister if you say it fast. Brian Barnes. BB.
BB. There you go. Frank Tomotion. So ready for Sunday. Me too. I wish it was Sunday already. The anticipation's killing me. Got Bryant Culp in the house. And smash the like button, everyone. And that's a good reminder. Let me just get to Brian Barnes's comment here. Yes, so am I. It's time to show everyone that we're the number one team in the league. There we go. Yeah, that's all stuff we're going to talk about. Real quick, though, we are streaming on both channels. So if you're on TED Talks Ball, make sure you get over to 49ers First Takes. Give Aaron a like and subscribe. Same thing if you're on 49ers First Takes. Pop over to me to TED Talks Ball. Give me a like and subscribe. If you're on a browser, open up two tabs. You can watch us both at the same time. Just make sure you mute one so it doesn't get confusing. Otherwise, you get like an echo. Or if you're on a phone, you could always use a tablet or secondary device to watch both at the same time. So thanks in advance for all your help on that, folks. It really helps us out with those viewers. We also have a little bit of not that late of a rival.
It's my boy Charles.
Charles Drake. How about KC, Aaron?
Yeah, he always has. He knows I hate the Chiefs. So
there you go.
That's just his daily reminder.
With the Jets, didn't they?
Yeah, I didn't think they were that impressive against the Jets. Well, until the refs got involved, of course.
You always count on the refs to bail out old
They're
Patty.
The new Patriots, straight up. They are the new Patriots.
Yeah, it's true. Patty is the face of the league. They'll do everything they can to prop him up. But I faded the Chiefs a little bit in my latest power rankings. I'll pull one up. I mean, not really on the show, but I'll just pull it up on my timeline just to talk about it a little bit. There have been a few different power rankings this week. And the one I responded to most recently on my timeline was the PFF power rankings. They did the NFC, and they did the top 10 NFC and then the top 10 NFL power rankings. And actually, it's not. It's Sunday Night Football on NBC, pardon me, is who it was that did these. And so let me read you my NFC ones first, Aaron. Let's see what you think. So I said 49ers first. And then one that maybe a lot of people might disagree with, I said Cowboys second. I said Eagles third. I said Seahawks fourth. Some people might disagree. Lions fifth. That's, people will flip flop those 2, 3, 4, 5 ones a little bit. And then I said the rest aren't worth ranking. The rest of the 10. I feel like there's only really 5 powerful teams right now in the NFC. I didn't think the Bucks, and I'll just go through what their rankings were just to let everybody know, since the graphics not up here. They differed with me. They had us first, Eagles second, not Cowboys. Then they had the Cowboys third, and then they had Seahawks fourth, just like me. Lions fifth, just like me. Then they had Bucks sixth, Rams seventh, Packers eighth, Falcons ninth, and Commanders 10th. So
how are the Falcons even in the power rankings?
I mean, this is my point. Like those later teams, I feel like they're just throwing darts.
Yeah, I would say that. Well, first of all, I agree with Hiroski. They don't play this year unless we play in the Super Bowl. Charles doesn't like football, but he likes to listen to me talk football. So
I don't think the Chiefs are going to make it to the Super Bowl, Charles. I don't think they're the best AFC team. I don't think they're the second best AFC team.
We'll see. I believe it when I see it, Ted, because every year I try to say that this is going to be the year where Kansas City's going to start to, and their quarterback he's just.
I did last year and I was wrong. I mean, I thought Tyreek Hill leaving would be the difference. I was wrong.
Every time I see them slow start. Yeah. I always am like, there's just no way their quarterback will not allow Mahomes will not allow them to be easily eliminated. Plus, like I said, the league loves them. They are the new love child of the league. It was the Patriots for 20 years. So the Niners going to do everything they can to kind of ruin that party this year. So
there you go. Hiroski says Rams are a good team. I disagree. I thought they would run back 5-12. They're better than that right now at 2-2, but they almost blew that 23-point lead to the Colts.
I think they're better offensively than a lot of people thought they were going to be. Defensively,
especially without Cooper Kupp.
They can score points.
Is slaying people, and that's another thing to bring up then that I saw today. There was a graphic of the most 10-plus yard plays in the NFL, and Puka Nacua leads the NFL with 22 10-plus yard plays. And number 2 was Christian McCaffrey with 20. Number 3 was Justin Jefferson with 19. Number 4 is Devontae Adams with 19. The Eagles, A.J. Brown, 18. Tyreek Hill of the Dolphins, 18. Diggs, 18. Bijan Robinson of the Falcons, maybe that's part of the reason why they're getting some love, 16. And then Brandon Ayuk, 16. So he's not, tied for 8th in a 3-way tie with Bijan, Brandon, and Nico Collins from the Texans, who's a great young receiver that, I'm blanking on their quarterback's name, the one out of Ohio State.
I got to step away just for a second from the screen. I got to let this cat out of the basement.
That's fine. Do what you got to do. Anyway, what Nico Collins is obviously with the number 2 overall draft pick, and I'm blanking on his name, out of Ohio State, that the Texans drafted right after Bryce Young went to the Panthers. Anyway, bottom line is, with Ayuk having 16 of these 10-plus yard plays, I said basically I think Ayuk would have more than Puka Nacua if he hadn't played hurt in the second half of the Rams game, where I think he only had 2 of 5 catches, 2 catches on 5 targets, and like basically every other target this year Brandon Ayuk has caught. And then he obviously missed the entire Giants game, and their defense was no great shakes. So I mean, I think Brandon Ayuk would be higher than Puka Nacua if he hadn't gotten injured. So then it gets pretty impressive where you got Brandon Ayuk above 22 and CMC at 20. It's pretty incredible what these two guys are doing for our team.
So I know a lot of people are talking about the Taylor Swift effect, right? So I'm thinking what they need to do is they need to create a video, right? The Taylor Swift song, "Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me." They got to have the referees. They have to do some sort of like show a play from the Chiefs and then have the refs throwing a flag and just have that kind of consistently playing in the playground in the background. hi,
I
it's
love
me.
it.
I'm the problem. It's me, and have it be the refs because they are the problem right now with the Chiefs.
I didn't
So
even
yeah,
know that song, but that's awesome. It makes sense. I love it. I think it'd be maybe that's something we have to do. CJ Stroud, thank you. And he was my favorite quarterback in this draft. And there was another graphic where he's like the fourth leading yardage QB this season. And I said, like, hey, I'm bullish on CJ. I was bullish on CJ Stroud, but I wasn't that bullish. I didn't think he'd be the fourth leading yards getter QB through 4 games. So Stroud's doing great. And then, I mentioned that I was wrong about the Chiefs um, and Tyreek Hill, being gone and the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl without him. I probably should mention that I put out a tweet today where I said that I was wrong, or at least I kind of said I'm wrong for now. I said, well, I'm not ready to crown Purdy long term yet. What he's done here for, I can't ignore. Glad that I didn't bet. Faced no contenders, maybe only playoff pretenders, and still have some doubts that'll last real long. But at least for now, I must say that I was wrong, and I'll try to be one of Brock Starr's biggest defenders. So it's
sounds
kind of a
look
little
like
poem I put together,
sounds like
and
haiku or whatever.
yeah, I put together a little poem, and then I put together a graphic of I don't even know how to share it on the thing, but let me see if I could do this. Share post via. Anyway, bottom line is I put together a graphic of all these impressive stats that he's wrapped up through 4 games. And then I had done a poll the other night too, like, hey, should I crown Purdy, basically? And I'll go with the results of the poll. And the poll was 2-1 that I should crown Purdy. So, I mean, I haven't totally done it, but I'm going to at least be a little more positive. Ever since then, I've been more positive about him and trying not to poke so many holes in arguments. Like, there was one today I couldn't resist, though. Raj posted Larry asking, I don't know if you saw this. I DM'd it to you right before the show.
Oh yeah, I share. It's one of my. I shared it on TikTok.
Okay. So basically, Larry was asking Kyle if Brock was a product of the system, and Kyle said, "Oh, that's ridiculous." And I was like, I quote tweeted Raj's tweet of it, and I said, "I feel attacked," and I put the little laughing emojis, because Larry and I have been beefing over this kind of stuff, and if it wasn't me, maybe it was aimed at Grant or Ryan or Jesse or
Didn't he block you again?
he did block me again. Yeah. So, he came at
Excellent.
me. I fought back, punched the bully in the mouth, and then he ran away. Like this is what happens usually with bullies. So, but he did tell me that I should admit that I was wrong. And so I have to give him credit that at least for now, Larry's right and I'm wrong. I definitely want to see what happens this week against the Eagles, against the Ravens, the Browns defense, these better defenses. But for now, you can't argue that Purdy's been amazing through 4 games. I
But
can't.
even my whole thing is even great quarterbacks struggle against good defenses. Montana
Yeah.
struggled against the Giants. He got knocked out pretty much every time he played him, right? So, to me, I think and I've been, and me, I'm a freaking Brock Purdy guy.
Yes.
I don't crown anybody really until they do something over a long period of time. But to discount what he's been doing would be foolish. I mean, you can have all the weapons in the world and still struggle. Jimmy Garoppolo is a perfect example of having a pretty damn good team around him. Maybe not as good as Kyle put with Brock, but just being the guy that you were always like, oh goodness, dude, like really that pick right now, like Brock hasn't shown the ability to fold like Jimmy used to under the lights, under the pressure. And a lot of people say that Jimmy was carried too, and on the other team, he would show his true colors. And so far with the Raiders, he's kind of done that. So
As who predicted that, Aaron?
I think you did.
I think I did.
And I think in my mind, I knew that he was going to fall off. But my whole thing with Brock is I'm totally comfortable with him being the starting quarterback of the 49ers. I mean, he's won like 15 straight games or something. Like, you can have doubts, but you got to call a spade a spade. You can't constantly be like, no, that's because, and no, that's because. Like, no, like nobody's saying he's the greatest quarterback of all time or that he's arrived. That would be absolutely foolish. But I don't think he's a liability, nor do I think he is something that will hold the 49ers back from trying to reach their ultimate goal. I think he's the perfect guy for this offense. And I think him and Kyle are in lockstep. And this is the first time I think I've never seen Kyle this relaxed, especially with like quarterback play and just the ability, his way, like the way he was with Jimmy and stuff, and sometimes even with Trey Lance. Like I don't get that I don't get that right now. So everybody needs to calm down and stop attacking Ted just because he says he's not sold. But at the same time, Ted, I appreciate the fact that you're not necessarily admitting mistake, but just maybe
I said
backing
Purdy proved me wrong through 4 games.
down a little bit and being like, okay, I'll admit that's impressive. One incompletion.
Yeah, and 42-yard completion and a 30-yard completion and the deep out, back shoulder to Ayuk and the other deep one right to the right sideline. Did you watch the JTO Sullivan breakdown of the game? That was kind of interesting. He did pick some holes in it, saying that he should have hit Kittle a couple times when he didn't. One time wide open in the end zone. Well, he said Kittle was open to the right in the end zone when he threw short left of the end zone. And he said maybe that was the read and the read was open, so you can't fault him for that. But then there was another one where Kittle broke open over the middle, and he probably should have hit him. And he did say on the deep one to Ayuk, the 42-yarder, that it was underthrown, like the announcer said, and that the safety, the corner coming back to play safety, if he knew what he was doing, it would have been like catching a punt. But he just ran back into no man's land. So it's interesting. Not everything's perfect, but it was lovely. I mean, you go 20 of 21. You got, like I said, 2 deep passes. There was one to CMC that was like the one to Debo against the Rams, where it was behind the line of scrimmage and they score, so it counted as a run. But it was a run where he threw it, 15, 20 yards to him out in the flat, just behind him instead of, in front of him. Hiroski says, "Thank you for not blocking me, Ted." No, I try not to block people unless you really ask for it. Literally ask for it, or do stuff that's like trying to defame, what I'm doing here on YouTube or whatnot. But most stuff on Twitter, it's just fun and games. It's just sports banter, as long as people keep it like that. Even calling me fat, whatever. I did post that picture of myself, because that one with the fat girl one, I was like, come on, that's not what I look like. So I had to defend myself a little. But now he's posting me every day. Jimmy Cast
that's the thing that doesn't. That's the thing that I don't understand. Like attacking people personally, saying they're fat, they're ugly, just because you don't agree with their football takes. You're a loser.
They can't attack the message, so they attack the messenger. It's so classic. It's just like, oh yeah, I have no retort for what you said to me, so I'll call you fat or ugly or stupid or defame you in some way.
Those are I know people in real life that when they're losing an argument, they'll just start dissing you personally. It's just like, oh, that's the route we're going, really, because you're out of facts. Yeah.
BT 2022 says, yes, you are wrong. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it happens. The main thing is to admit it and move on and try not to repeat your mistakes. Rick says, Rick had a funny comment about your shirt. He said something. He wanted you to pull it up so you could see more. I was like, pause. I'm like, is he saying show us your...
You want to see some man tits? I don't know if that's allowed on the internet. I don't think so. There you go.
Get your man's ear going.
I need to get a brazier or something. I'm going to get I need at least a C cup. I'm rocking a C cup right now. Always Drips makes a good point. He says, I also admit CMC is a big part of it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love your shirt. Pick it up higher. That shirt, pick it up. Woo! I feel like I should start some
you need to get that club music.
Get a little backbeat going. A little brown chicken, brown cow. Oh, that's a little different. That's more like porn. Never
literally mind. TNA. I have an Italian butt. I have a big butt for a guy. I have a dumper. My brother's like, aren't Italian guys, our guys are not supposed to have big asses. I'm like, I don't have a big ass. I just have an ass. I had an old lady slap me on my rear end when I worked with her. She was like in her 70s. I didn't get her in trouble. I'm bending over to doing something, and she just goes boom, and she's like, "You have a nice rear end for an older man." I'm like,
Thanks,
what?
Granny.
I was like, cool.
Says Ted, Chevy Chase might call you ignorant. You know what? Yeah, he might. No doubt about it. I love Chevy Chase, though, so that's fine. Everybody's just saying hi.
Don't
It's
be
nice to see you.
shy. Say hi. Sorry.
That's all right. Oh, did I get how far? Holy smokes. All right, you guys, slow it down in the chat there. I'm going to scoot to the end and start working my way back up
Settle
real
down,
quick.
Beavis.
I know.
Okay.
Always drips 805 in the house. Always drip 805 said I called out Law Nation that he was like
20
20
mods.
mods.
That's so lame. People like that go into chats and they have that many mods. They don't want any back talk. They're
Yeah.
just a big mouth. Like, bop, 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 bop.
Yeah. And
There's a person I know
that's
who I.
Twin Empire's twin brother or brother. I guess Twin Empire has two sets of twins. I don't know that Law Nation is his twin, but they're brothers for sure. And one's a Niners fan and one's a Cowboys fan. But the smart one, Twin Nation, is a Niners fan. Law Nation or Twin Empire, sorry. Law Nation, sorry.
Empire.
Cowboys.
Long live
More
the
pain
Empire.
for you, brother. ET says, serious question. When people try to dismiss Purdy, they say CMC is the reason. What was the excuse with the Panthers? Well, the Panthers didn't have the number 1D. They didn't have Debo. They didn't have Kittle. They didn't have Ayuk. I mean, it's CMC in Kyle's system with everything else that we have. He was just
I
like
think everything
the
is the
cherry on
perfect
top.
mix.
Yeah, but I mean,
think
if you
it's
look
the
at
perfect
CMC,
mix right now.
he's freaking MVP right now
Yes.
of the league. So I mean, you can't. How much can you discount CMC? That's my thing. I said today he's the V12 in the system that is or that makes Kyle's Lambo roar or something like that, because he is right now. CMC is not only our MVP but the MVP of the league. Laura Fired Up 49er says, "What's up?" Laura Cat says, "Peaches, I think we missed something here." Oh, okay, yeah. So they're going back to that. You smacked
He
her,
says you smacked her ass.
arrested.
I would have been arrested. Absolutely. Fired, arrested, whatever.
They banned Niner fans so fast. Oh yeah, they don't want the smoke. I went to a Cowboys live stream. They're ruthless there, since some Cowboys are. Yeah, interesting. Well, we like all fans as long as they're reasonable. And if you want to see a Cowboys stream, I've got one tonight at 5:15. Or is that conflicting with you, Aaron? Oh, well,
cancel. Wait, what?
8:15 your time? Probably. Probably right when you and Raj go. Well, you guys are gonna have to choose between me and Aaron, or Aaron and Raj, or me and.
Well, it's on Raj's channel.
Cowboys.
It's 9. It'll be 9:00 or something like that.
Okay, we'll be finished. We're gonna be from 8:15 to about 9. Because I don't have much time. That's why
I haven't
I'm on
heard from
Dad
Raj today, so may not even be a full guarantee there's a stream. He's been probably really busy.
Laura Cat's counting those stacks. We got Queen Bird Gang saying, "Hey guys, she'll be there tonight. She's a big fan of Cole's Cowboys, and she showed up to a lot of my Cowboys preview shows before the divisional round game to scope the enemies, because obviously as an Eagles fan, she has a keen interest in what the 49ers and Cowboys are doing."
Yeah, literally TNA.
Literally TNA.
But boom. Somebody told us that we were idiots and we need to start talking Niners in the comments. He's like, "Do you any of you? Did you say in grades or low lives or something like that?" He's like,
"Let me just catch up real quick to where we were." I'm also a big realist. CMC is a big part. Yeah, exactly. Huge part. The biggest part. Because how you know? Because Jimmy was 4-0 with CMC and had very similar stats last year. That's how you know. And you look what he's doing now. He's falling apart. So camera adds 10 pounds. Oh, it's more than 10 pounds for me, my friend.
With me, it adds about 60, but thank you.
Yeah, same here.
Mostly in my head and in my upper body.
Brock Purdy has ice in his veins, and you can't coach that.
100%. I was talking to my own mother the other day. I said, I don't want to compare him to Joe. I said, but they're the one similarity that he has with Montana. And this is it. I'm not saying he's Montana. I'm not saying he's going to be Montana. He's going to equal what he did. Joe was unflappable mentally. He was straight like this. And Brock, if you watch him, even my own brother, he's a Dolphins fan. He's like, "Yo, dude, doesn't get frazzled. That's huge. Jimmy was 100% frazzled. All he had to do is watch his feet in the pocket. That man don't want to get hit. He don't want to get hit. And it happened more after his knee injury, the choppiness in the pocket. Because that little 5-game stretch we had in 2017, I don't remember him being like that in the pocket. So I don't know.
No doubt. So I'm just kind of working my way back up from the bottom. Scott Broyles in the house.
Well, yeah, he said he got booted from 2 streams.
2 Cowboy streams already. Don't fuss or get personal. They're just soft.
There's people in the Niner community that are super soft with their streams too. I know them personally. I won't say their name, but they're super sensitive. They'll ban you immediately. They have rules before you join and subscribe to them. Like, you must do this, this, and this, or you're not able to talk in my stream. It's like, dude, whatever.
Randy Daytona, he's got a great one here. Cowboys shoot themselves in the boot.
Yeah, hopefully they will. Listen, I don't think anybody. I'm not taking the Cowboys lightly because they have a very talented team. I'm a 49ers fan, and I know the strengths of the Niners, and I just think the Niners in the end, if they don't turn the ball over, are going to be tough for the Cowboys to stop on offense or on defense. I just think the Cowboys might have a hard time, but that's just me.
Well, their defense is good, and I learned some stuff in my shows this week about their D.
There's a snake in my boot. Haha, that's funny.
Real quick, Randy also helped me this week coming up with a name for my show with Pedro from Down Under, Pete Burge. I was thinking of some kind of a riff on Napoleon Dynamite, and so he came up with Ivo hyphen Ted for Pedro. It's like, so vote for Pedro.
But that's pretty good.
Napoleon, yeah, I think it's good. I got the Roscoe's on it, so should have the overlays.
Nice.
For next Monday. Yeah, we got Jess in the house.
Hello, Jess. She says she's going to be there Sunday night. I expect you to have plenty of pictures with people. Just make sure, like I said, tell them about my channel. Tell them I need to have them on. I tell her this all the time. I'm like, yeah, tell them about 49ers First Takes YouTube channel, and that he would love to have you on as a guest.
Yes. Promote Aaron's shows.
Promote my channel over yours. So, that's what we do, right?
That's exactly.
I'll come into your chat and I'll just start dropping links to my show. How about that?
Otherwise, I'm sure selfish. You're just selfish if you don't, right?
That's such a
Fired Up 49ers. Are you happy that we got El Manning back on? I tweeted it. I said yes. I was so happy.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, like, that's
really
super. Why did I just go totally surfer? Like, that's awesome, dude. No, it's great. Yeah. I thought I was very disappointed when they let him go. Do you incels talk about Niners? Eventually. Sorry, Niner Empire.
We'll get there. But what you call it? You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so we're happy about So should we talk a little bit about? I mean, I don't know. Did you want to give your thoughts on the Cards game first? Do you want to jump right into the Cowboys? We can obviously bounce around.
I guess, yeah, I'll give my quick thoughts. I thought the offensive course was as efficient and as dangerous. Really, without Debo. Debo was essentially a decoy in that game, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And really, if you think about it, we had really one healthy running back because they barely used Mason. Although he did catch what they call the Texas route, which was nice. I felt this was probably the most comfortable I've seen Brock in a game, and the most I've ever seen him take chances. I think one of the reasons sometimes people who struggle with the deep passes, if they're predominantly in an offense where they go with the read that's open, and a lot of those reads are short, and they don't feel the need to press the ball downfield because they don't have to. So I felt like he was playing a little bit outside what he usually does, and I felt that a couple of the passes fizzled a little bit, but the fact that he took those shots, unlike Jimmy, it opens up the playbook so much more because Jimmy really, you talk about dink and dunk. I mean, Jimmy wouldn't even attempt anything with any air yards. And anytime he did, it was out of bounds. He'd miss the wheel route completely. It was really bad. So between that, Christian McCaffrey, listen, I love Brock Purdy to death, but Christian McCaffrey right now is on pace to be an NFL MVP. And I know they don't give it to running backs. They haven't done it since Julian Peterson back, I think, in like 2011 or 2012. He would really have to keep going and really put up some serious numbers. But I think there's a chance, mainly because he's a really good guy, and a lot of people really like Christian McCaffrey outside of him being on the 49ers. Defensively, I thought the Niners defense looked I don't see an identity with them right now. What are they on defense? Yeah, they don't give up a lot of points, but they're, there hasn't been a serious pass rush since the first game. They had 6 sacks. And I felt like their pass defense was something that was a little bit alarming in that game too. The 99-yard touchdown drive really pissed me off. And I know people are like, I saw somebody say that if anybody's nitpicking the Niners right now in their defense, they're just trying to find things to be mad about. Oh, are you serious? I'm looking at it as this. You got to look ahead to the games against better teams. If you're allowing a 99-yard touchdown drive against the Arizona Cardinals, that doesn't boat well when you play teams that actually have weapons and a good quarterback. So I was off put it. I don't know if it's a disconnect with Wilkes and the players, or what exactly is going on, but like offense, usually defenses are ahead of the offense early in the season. It's completely flipped. The Niners defense playing pretty good. They're solid. They don't give up the big plays. They allow the underneath stuff. But to me, it's like I'm watching a team play.
I got to interrupt you for a second to say Scott Burrell said Brock looked like Burt Reynolds laying on a bear rug. He was so comfortable.
That's hot.
Classic. That's awesome. Sorry,
fans went 20 for 20. Yeah, I just felt that their defense looked like they were playing prevent the last couple of games. I would love to see some ingenuity with the pass rush. If you can't get pass rush with 4 guys, you're going to have to start bringing some heat. I mean, it's getting ridiculous.
Well, I just think speaking of pass rush, I was glad to see Purdy fix his deep ball issues, but I felt like there was really no pressure on him for those deep balls. So
yeah, he had really good.
And name me a Cards D lineman. I mean, come on. They don't have one.
The pass rush, the pass protection was pretty good in this game. Niner Empire said this channel is effing lame. Okay, goodbye. You want to block him? If he doesn't like it here, kick him out. Niner Empire 916. Somebody's got a burner account and they're coming in here to piss me off.
Okay. Is he down at the bottom?
Very at the bottom, right above Sentinels football. Yeah, he says this channel is effing lame.
All right. Oh.
Bye, bitch.
Bye.
Go. If you don't want to be here, then get the fuck out. Like, goodbye.
Thanks for playing. Yeah. Don't let the door hit you.
Where the good Lord split you. Exactly.
Exactly. So yeah, the defense. Yeah, we're missing Jimmy Ward. I mean, how much did I say this offseason that Jimmy Ward is a big loss for this defense?
I think he was. I really do.
And that Isaiah Oliver is not Jimmy Ward. I did say that Isaiah Oliver could be a better value than Jimmy Ward because he's so much cheaper. But even cheaper, even 3 times cheaper, or twice as cheap. He's not as good a value right now as Jimmy Ward. I'd rather pay the extra $3 million. And
he can't cover. He can't cover.
He can't cover speedy guys. That's for sure.
No.
And the Cards have some speedy guys.
They were running out patterns on him.
Mike Wilson looked like a world beater against us.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's not a rookie, but he's young. He's a young wide receiver. Yeah, no, I mean, the D was not great, but I guess they got it done. They were holding Bosa like crazy. They were throwing fast, and let's give some props to Josh Dobbs. He's a good QB. I was actually live streaming with Beto of all people during the game, and I jumped into his live stream a couple times, and he asked me if if Kyler comes back, would I rather have Kyler or Josh Dobbs? I said I'd stick with Dobbs because he can throw on schedule. Kyler's much more dynamic. When the play breaks down, obviously you want Kyler scrambling and throwing a million miles. He's got a cannon for such a little pipsqueak. But if you want to play on schedule and go with the flow of the offense, I thought Josh Dobbs was better at that.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs to me looks like a better as far as like a polished quarterback. They don't really have that's what got to me. They don't really have a lot of weapons on that team. And yet the Niners were still allowing them to move the ball uh, with relative ease on that drive, the 99-yard drive. To me, I think what's happening right now is that there is a separation between the players and what Steve Wilkes is trying to do. They said that they weren't going to change anything if they brought him in, and that it was essentially going to be the same defense. The guy
There you
plays
go.
off the whole game. Somebody in the comments, where is he?
The McNiner's in there. What's up,
Where,
McNuevo?
what's up, my
Welcome.
dog? Where was he? Fired Up 49ers said, and it's up a little bit. He says 4th and 2, and we're still playing our secondary 6 yards off. 6 yards off. The man is ridiculous. 100% agree. That's all he's been doing. That's the defense in a nutshell. Play off, rush for.
Playoffs?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed the same thing. Essentially, what we're doing is we're playing prevent defense.
Yeah.
Rush for, play off. Well, I don't see any ingenuity. I don't see any type of like blitz packages or zone blitz or they were talking about the 5-man line the other day, and that seemed like something that might continue. I didn't see anything. It just looks like
Yeah.
an average. All these players on defense. You got Bosa signed this massive contract. I don't see it right now. I don't see it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where the disconnect is. It's infuriating. And a lot of people got on me when I said that I think the Niners needed to go out and get another edge rusher opposite Bosa, someone with a little bit of name value. And everyone's like, no, we got what we need in the building. Okay. Well, just like last year, we had a huge game from Drake Jackson, and then we've heard nothing since week 1. So it's like playing itself out all over again. I would love to see another guy opposite of Bosa that has a little bit of pedigree. I heard Randy Gregory. I know he hasn't played much, but like is someone in that ilk. I don't know. There's players out there that could be signed, but the Niners.
The problem with Randy Gregory is the character issues. So that's going to be an issue for the 49ers. I don't think the 49ers will sign someone with character issues.
No, they won't.
However you want to look at it, but
they don't want anybody undoing what they got working right now. Wilkes is supposed to be the blitz specialist. Yeah, I don't see anything from him. I heard all this stuff in the preseason about how he's going to be blitzing more and that the Niners are going to do a lot of different things. I've seen nothing. They literally look like a team playing.
Cardinals did just beat Dallas, and I've been getting into trouble on the timeline. People calling me a Cowboys fan because I'm stating facts about another team. And it turns out I hate the Cowboys. Turns out I love the Niners. Turns out I'm honest about both teams. I'm not biased towards the Niners or against the Cowboys. And the Cowboys were missing 80% of their O-line versus the Cardinals. I said it in my preview article. It's why I didn't sweat the Cardinals. They also were missing Diggs, who went out literally like a day and a half before the game. Literally one walkthrough practice on a Friday, and they fly out to Arizona. They lose their second best defender. And they're like, oh, in the run game they lost. Well, guess what? He's a good tackler, and when you have a corner like that, it allows you to bring a safety into the box. And if you can pass the ball, that opens up the run game. And they passed for 180 yards. The Cards did against the Cowboys. If that number had been a lot lower, I bet their rushing total would have been lower as well too, to go right with it. So so the Cards did beat the Cowboys, but it's not the Cowboys team we're going to play. Already last Sunday with the Patriots, they got back Tyler Biadasz, their stud center. And then they also got back Zach Martin, who's an all-world right guard, all-pro, arguably right up there with Trent Williams as one of the 2 best linemen probably in the whole freaking NFL. And then they might be getting Tyron Smith, their left tackle, back too. And they already got the other guy too. I forget the other guy's name. There's like a Tyler Smith or something like that. I think he's back. So, this Cowboys O-line is one of the best O-lines in the NFL, folks. Like up there with the Lions, up there with the Eagles. And when I had Cowboys Greg on Tuesday or Monday, pardon me, he was telling me that these 5 guys that might play together against us Sunday have never played together. So like whatever we've seen that made them top 3, it could be better than that. So this very well could be the best offensive line in football that we're going up against. And we already had trouble getting pressure against the Cards O-line. So you think it's going to be better against the Cowboys? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big Dak believer, but like he's only thrown 1 interception, and that was the one against the Cards this whole season. And so, I mean, he's also up there on some of these ratings. There was an offensive rating that I was going to bring up. Teams scoring on over 50% of their drives. So number 1, Buffalo Bills, 57.1%. Number 2, San Francisco 49ers, 56.1%. Number 3, Dallas Cowboys, 53.8%. And number 4, Philadelphia Eagles, 51.5%. And I quote tweeted this. I said, coincidentally, these are my top 4 teams in the NFL. And as of Sunday morning with the Bills versus Dolphins game, I was saying the Bills look like the best team in the NFL. And the only reason I put us above them since then is because Tre'Davious White went down in that game with the ACL and won't be back this season. But if they had Trey White, I thought they looked like a better team than us so far this season.
Who's that?
Especially to smoke the Dolphins like that, to put up 48 and to hold them to 20-ish, whatever it was. And like they could have scored 60 plus if they had needed to. There was 10 minutes left in the fourth and when they stopped scoring. So
yeah, Buffalo is pretty good. And coming from a team you said that had no weapons outside of Diggs.
Yeah,
I think that's
Gabriel
a little bit.
Davis is pretty
Gabe
good.
Davis.
And,
I've been a Gabe Davis fan.
You know what I was wrong about? It was James Cook or James. Is it James Cook? It's Dalvin Cook's younger brother, James Cook. At least as a week 3, he was second to CMC in rushing yards for the NFL for running back. Well, for anyone rushing. But
can I say one thing about Dallas though?
Yeah,
they've played really bad opponents so far.
Yes, worse than we have, and we played bad
and so they blew out a really bad Patriots team. The Giants are ass, right? So both of us coming into this game have something to prove. I think the Niners need to find a way, and I know right at the bottom of the chat, Scott Broyles, he says that I'm an Iowa Hawkeyes fan, and we ran the same defense as Wilkes is for 20 years. It's frustrating but effective. Forces teams to execute 10-play drives, also wears the D down and ruins time of possession. That's great against bad teams, but I mean, like, I think good teams and good quarterbacks could take advantage of that kind of defense. It also works if there's pass rush. That's a great defense to have because you have more guys in coverage. So quarterback makes a bad decision. There's more hands on the ball, whatever. I'm frustrated right now. I expected more. Bosa's got 1 sack. Like it just, I don't know. I'm like Ted. I'm a little bit. Yeah, I saw that when my baby just ate a bunch of Scrabble tiles. The next diaper changes could spell disaster. Boom.
Don't talk to me about diaper changes, silly funky. That's all. I'm up to my eyeballs in it. At least my older son just got potty trained. He's starting to poop in the toilet finally at almost 4 years old. The young guy though, man, he's a pooping machine. It's crazy.
Sounds like me as a baby.
Blowouts.
I was a manure factory, dude, man. My dad was like, all you did was poop.
Crazy. And on that note, real quick, I want to just again let people know if you're on 49ers First Takes, hop over to TED Talks Ball, give me a like and subscribe. Same thing with people on my channel. Hop over to 49ers First Takes, give Aaron a like and subscribe. If you're on a browser, please open up 2 tabs to watch us concurrently, and or use a tablet if you're on a phone. Also, real quick commercial break. I have a new sponsor. They're called TTG. You can see it there in the bottom left corner. So I will stop playing the banner here for a second. So it's the Travelstead Group, and they are a hospitality and retail logistics company. Basically, they're doing they're doing transportation and warehousing for brick and mortar, fixed furniture and equipment, which is FFE, operating supplies and equipment, which is OSE, new store openings, rollouts, relocations, decommissions. From the first mile to the final mile and everywhere in between, Travelstead has you covered. Let us know how we can help you by air, ocean, and land. So it's not really a consumer business B2C company, it's B2B. So if you're in that retail or hospitality space, check them out. Their website is in the description of the show and in all my properties in the my Twitter bio and my YouTube about, plus Insta and Facebook too, if you follow me there. And they have a cool video, shows what they do. Nick and Henry, great guys. So apologize for the commercial break, but gotta pay the bills, as they say. So how where were we there? We're on. There's a ton of chats. I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, Wilkes was supposed to be a blitz specialist. Sala, come back. We need you. I don't know if I'm there yet. I just feel like we I think um, I think Ambry Thomas is a little bit of a liability, and I think
Oh,
Isaiah Oliver is.
I
I
never
think we
bought
need to
into
get.
that fact that he was any good.
I think
Everyone's
we
like,
need
"Oh,
to get
he's
Womack
changed."
back. I think Womack could be the key to Rebecca for us because it's just like it's
Him and
Isaiah
Daryl
Oliver on
Luter could be back soon. That would be incredible.
Luter. Yeah, maybe he could be the answer. That's true. I forgot about Luter. He'll be coming off the pup list soon, probably, right?
Yep.
Got Nancy Cameron in the house. Hello from Oregon. Thanks for
Hello.
checking in, Nancy. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Great to have you here. BT says Cowboys suck. Indeed, we hate the Cowboys. I was saying that this might be not only the game so far of the year, but this might be the game of the year, period. Like, there's a chance this is the best football game in the entire NFL this entire season between the Niners and Cowboys.
This is going to be a game where the Niners, I know it means a lot more to Dallas right now because they've been losing to us. I just hope the 49ers don't come out flat in this game. Winning does that. The fact that they said in the broadcast against the Cardinals that the Cardinals beating Dallas changed the way the 49ers looked at them during the week. I was like, really? That's kind of strange. I thought you take every opponent as the same, but it's human nature to lower your guard when you think somebody might not be up to the caliber you are. So to hear that kind of thing coming from the broadcaster, I was just like, that is weird to hear, but we'll see. This is going to be a game. I think Dallas is going to come out kind of smoking, and it's just going to be, can the 49ers kind of stave it off and kind of run their particular. I think that their defense is probably going to give us some fits as far as pass protection. So we might see more of a game like the game against the Giants. A lot of screens, a lot of screens, and a lot of screens. Like, that's kind of what all we were doing in that game because we didn't have time to do anything else. So run game, screens, quick game. That's what we're going to have to do, I think, in order to beat that pass rush. I just think that this defense right now, for how much they've been talked about and how much they've been kind of pushed on everybody, they have played way below expectations. Good thing is, offense is playing incredible, so they have time to turn it around, which I think they will. It's just it's early in the season. There's a lot of time left, a lot of games left, but for everything that they've been talked about and the comparisons, I remember last year they were saying, will the Niners defense be better or worse? So far, they're worse. They were really good last year. So they have time. We have some easy games in the middle of the schedule that I think we should be able to win. So it's just a matter of hopefully they come out with some pizzazz, a little bit of ruthless aggression against the Dallas Cowboys, and kind of show the rest of the league who the best defense in the NFL is. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Well, I hope it's not the Cowboys, but they're number one DVOA. And another thing I learned when I was talking to Cowboys Greg on Monday was that they have a new defensive tackle, Leonard Hankinson, who's a big, like, Vince Wilfork type, one of these two gapper run stuffer types.
Mm-hmm.
And if you recall in the draft, they drafted 27th overall a kid named Mozzie out of Michigan. And they got a lot of grief for it because he's not a pass rusher. And they're like, hey, we don't care. We didn't draft him to be a pass rusher. We drafted him to be a run stuffer. So they got two new run stuffers in the middle that they didn't have when they played us last year. And then they have another one named Ogabwegi or something like that. Osa is the way you dumb it down for so that you don't butcher his last name. But he is more of a pass rushing defensive tackle, maybe like a I don't know, like what we think Kalia Davis could become someday.
If he ever
Or
plays.
yeah. But anyway, so there's been some additions to that defense as well as some additions to the offense, which was Brandon Cooks, another wide receiver for them. Tony Pollard's healthy. He obviously got injured against us in the first half and didn't play the second half. So there are some reasons to be a little bit nervous about playing the Cowboys. They are a legit opponent. They are our first contender that we will have played all season. And like I said in my little poem, we may not have even played any playoff teams yet, let alone contenders. I tell you, I did not have the Rams or Steelers making the playoffs before the season started, and I haven't seen much to change my mind since, other than Puka Nakua and Stafford going off. But didn't Stafford hurt his hip in the last game?
Stafford got injured. That's something to keep an eye on because their backup quarterback that everybody's talking about
Oh, Stetson Bennett, drunk Purdy.
He's gone. Well, I don't know if I'd make fun of that. He's got some alcohol issues. He's
Well, that's what I call him.
You call him drunk Purdy.
Drunk Purdy, yeah, because everybody said, "Oh, he's like drunk Brock Purdy," except for he's like 26 or something too, coming out.
Yeah, the guy's 30. Okay, he's coming in the NFL. He's already got
a walker, but he's got
a 401k and all sorts of stuff already. He's got an AR. Yeah, he's about to retire. How the hell can you be 26 coming in? Like, when did you? He's been in college for like a decade.
He probably partied too much in high school.
Oh, that's crazy.
I would never know anything about that, but just I heard from friends, So.
You weren't a partier in high school? Liar.
I was a partier, high school, college. That's why my college career was long and not very distinguished. So, yeah.
You do seem like the type that would probably throw back some beers.
I used to, yeah. Whatever you had, man. Whatever you had.
I would drink alcohol out of the medicine cabinet. No problem.
Yeah, I stole it out of my parents' cabinet one time. A few times, just mixed jet fuel so that the bottles you could barely tell. You'd fill up like a Schweppes bottle full, 12 ounces, but it's only like an ounce from each bottle. Except for, man, it's so nasty when you mix, vodka, rum, tequila, everything all together at once. I called it jet fuel. It's disgusting, but did the trick.
Alcohol's gross even without doing that. I don't drink.
No, I don't anymore, but I definitely was not because I didn't before. Fed the tank. Oh boy. Come on, everybody, we're going streaking. Oh man. I really like the Brock 30 poem. Do you think you can write a Jake Moody poem? Yeah, I probably can. I'll work on that, Bryant. I'll let you know.
His leg is strong, hangs low like his. I don't know. Sorry.
I think we're onto something there.
You see how I just. Yeah, sorry.
You're making me blush. Down with TTG. Yeah, you know me. There you go.
Got it.
There are good folks there. So anyway, the Cowboys are a good team. And then people say, well, we're better. We're better since we played the Cowboys. And like, okay, Purdy's better, I think. Hard to tell from who we've played, honestly, but he looked better on Sunday. I'll give it that. I wasn't sure in the first 3 games. The Cards game definitely gave me, that's why, I've sort of had this change of heart this week. But as far as like Ayuk's better for sure, but like, is McKivitz better than McGlinchey? I don't know.
This is definitely good. This is going to definitely be a real test.
Because remember, McKivitz got freaking owned by TJ Watt, and Micah Parsons is like, not quite as powerful, but a faster TJ Watt. And guess what? He has a lot more help on that line because he's got DeMarcus Lawrence, who is just this week rated up there in the top rated edges. Those 2 guys were both the top rated edges this week. They also have a young guy named Sam Williams who got 8 sacks last year, 8.5. Remember, like our best guys last year had 5, and they're gone. They're all gone. We got Clelin Ferrell and Drake Jackson now. So.
Yeah, I don't think the Niners defense right now, defensive line wise, other than Hargrave and Bosa, we don't really have any real pass rushers on the defensive line at all.
And the Cowboys may have the best offensive line in football, and they may have the best defensive line in football. And where are games won, folks? In the trenches.
Yep. So you got to give credit to them. People are like, "Oh, you must not be a real 49er fan." No, Dallas. The fact that Dallas hasn't gotten far in these past whatever seasons with the talent that they have is just really mind-boggling. Because you're right, offensive line and defensive line, they have 2 of the best in the league. But their quarterback is, to me, I think Dak Prescott is a different version of Jimmy Garoppolo. He can have some really good games, and you're like, see, that's the guy we that's the guy that we signed to an extension, and then he'll have games where he just looks completely like the game is too much for him. So that unfortunately the Cowboys they're kind of caught in that like circle, that revolving door with their quarterback. So
Silly fun guy says they don't have CMC. He's the difference maker. Absolutely, CMC is. I like him better than Pollard. I like Purdy better than Dak. I like Kittle better than whoever their tight ends are. I like Ayuk better than CeeDee Lamb. I like Debo better than Gallup. I like all our weapons better than theirs. But you know, somebody I was talking to, Ashley Baker, I was a big Cowboys fan on Sports After Dark. I had her on yesterday, and she's like, well, just, the Niners really are a pick your poison type of team. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, how do you deal with the snake? You cut the head off the snake. So you put pressure on Purdy to negate our weapons. And so that's my fear, my concern for the game. I'm not afraid of the Cowboys per se, but I do think that it's going to be, let's get to that then. All right. My prediction for the game is 24-21 Niners. Okay. So that just so in case people are wondering where I stand, I am a Niners fan. I am rooting for us, and I do think that we should win the game. If all goes according to plan. I just think we may not be ahead the whole game like we have been most of the season. I guess we were down against the Rams a little bit in the first half, but we may face some adversity in this game, and I hope our guys respond.
I think my prediction would probably be somewhere around 34, Cowboys 27.
There you go. I love it. If we could break 30 against that defense, I'd be really stoked, because I feel like the defenses we've played so far have not been, world beaters at all. And I do think the Cowboys defense is a world beater defense. I think they're better than the Eagles, just because the Eagles have had so much turnover. Problem with another edge dominant. Mahomes throw. Yeah, he does get Brady's calls. That's no doubt. Mahomes gets Brady's calls. That's
Sentinel. I talked about it in the beginning of the stream. I said they're the new Patriots.
You must have missed that. Yeah,
they're the new Patriots. And people are like, no, you're just a hater. No, watch the games. It's freaking obvious. It was like an 8-second. There's an offensive lineman holding a defensive lineman for like 8 seconds in the middle of your TV screen. And you hear a fan, he must have recorded it on TikTok, or he's like, that's a hold. That's got to be a hold. That's got to be a hold. And I'm like, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. And then, of course, the pass interference, the flag doesn't get, if that's fishy. Okay. Yeah. We already had a coach kick a field goal at the end of the game for whatever reasons to screw Vegas. If you guys don't think, I'm not saying football's fixed, but
it's facilitated. It's facilitated, Aaron.
There's things that, the old song, things that make you go, Football does that to me more than any other sport. More than any other sport. Hey, they did it in basketball back in the day when they had that one crooked ref. And look at baseball. They finally got rid of that one turd umpire that calls games like so horribly. Right. So I mean, my nephew always made a good point. He's like, if you kick somebody's ass enough and you're up enough, then you don't have to depend on the refs. If a game is close and you have to depend on the refs, there's a good chance they're going to screw you. So yeah.
I like that. We got to do it like Bryant said here, 42-24 Niners. I like that prediction. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I like it. I hope
I could see something like that if Dak decides to throw it to the other team. I could see that with the Niners offense. I'm closer to the score that I gave, but nothing in the NFL surprises me anymore. So yeah.
No, Randy's calling me a time traveler. Randy, I'm just like I mirror people's energy. And so when I was on with Cowboys Greg on Monday, he said 24-21 Cowboys. So I just mirrored him back. I just said 24-21 Niners. Trying to be respectful and whatever. I hope we run it over 30. I hope they don't score 20. But I do think it is going to be close. I do think it may come down to the last play. Could be a kick by Moody, or they have a rookie out of Notre Dame kicker who's only missed like one extra point all season. So he's doing good things too. So we got two rookie kickers, which is another interesting little byline there. I'll go with Moody just because Harbaugh said 3 things you can count on this life: death, taxes, and Jake Moody. So I trust Harbs on that one. Always Drip says 33-20.
Okay.
Giants splits Purdy many times. How did Purdy do? Cowboys got to pick their poison. Yeah, like I said, the way you deal with a poisonous snake is you cut its head off, and that's what they're going to be trying to do. They're going to be trying to pressure Purdy into making a mistake. I predicted that both quarterbacks will have one interception each. Dak and Purdy, I think, will each throw an interception in this game.
Yeah, this might be a game where Brock throws it. And then again, we might say that and he comes out and has another fantastic game. It's
And Kittle's definitely due for a big game.
Kittle needs. What's going on with him? Is he just? Are they just using him?
Like
to
I
block
said, he
all
was
the
open
time?
against the Cards, and Purdy didn't throw to him. If you watch JTO, watch court QB school, the breakdown. It's good. It's good. I mean, it's mostly positive, but there's a few negatives, especially like the 3rd and 23. The play call and everything.
Yeah. Scott Broyles, you're right there with me in that thinking, at the very bottom. Pretty transparent at this point.
Down the defense, Teddy. I just don't think that we've played a really good offense yet. The Steelers' offense is anemic. The Giants' offense is anemic. The Cards may be the best offense we've played so far.
I doubt the defense right now.
Cards or Rams.
Right now, I doubt them.
But they're both
giving up a 90-yard touchdown to a bad team is
the Rams are kind of one-dimensional. I mean, Stafford's the second leading yard. I was saying that 2 was number 1. Stafford was number 2. I forget who was number 3, but CJ Stroud was number 4.
That's
I could
crazy.
look it up, but I'm not gonna. Let's get down to the bottom here of the comments, see what's going on here. And also, I want to be aware of time. I know we're running short here. You got to get some food in you. Have you heard from Mr. Raj about
I haven't yet.
Next engagement?
Pretty transparent at this point. The league wants a Casey dynasty. Bro, if it wasn't any, if there's, I feel you.
That was another thing. A couple of things that came up. Somebody said we might have a an all-pro at every level on this team, and PFF has the 4 49ers as highest graded at their positions right now. Bosa at edge, Ayuk at wide receiver, Trent Williams, of course, left tackle, and McCaffrey, obviously, at running back, our MVP. So that was interesting. And then, all right, so then there was one other thing I talked about earlier, that NBCS at Sunday night on football on NBC, SNF on NBC handle. They had done that. We did the NFC ones, but they did the whole NFL. They said Niners number 1, Eagles number 2, Chiefs number 3, Cowboys number 4, Bills number 5, Dolphins 6, Seahawks 7, Lions 8, Ravens 9, and Bucks 10. And I had done this a few days ago. I'm sticking with mine, which does not include the Bucks in the top 10. I said Niners 1, as we mentioned earlier, the Bills 2, just because Trey White's out. Otherwise, they might be 1 and we might be 2. Cowboys 3, Eagles 4. I have Seahawks 5, Ravens 6, Chiefs all the way down at 7, Lions 8, Dolphins 9, and either Jags or Chargers at 10, not the Bucks. I do not believe in Bake Mayfield.
I don't either. He is who he is. I don't see him 30 to 13. I don't think that's going to happen, but you can always dream.
Yeah, Baker, I think he's about to fall apart, but I guess I can't out my buddy until he does it. But there's someone I know who's talking about may need to, just like I apologize to young Brock Purdy today. He's saying he may need to apologize to Bake after their bye. We'll see. So we'll see how Baker does up until the Bucks bye. Win by 13 because Purdy. There you go. I like that. I'm definitely big on numerology and stuff like that. So, it'll be interesting to see. What else we got? Anything else? So you got Raj coming up tonight. What was it scheduled for? What time? You said 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. I'm going to see if you can push it.
6 Pacific. So everybody come watch me at 5:15 Pacific. And then you're free to bug out and go watch Aaron and Raj when they go live. I'll give you my permission. Not that you need it.
He's given his blessing. And then I think
it should be good though. It's Cole's Cowboys, and he's definitely been pretty vocal in the timeline about how he hates us more than the Eagles.
Who's that?
Cole's Cowboys.
Is that a Cowboys streamer?
Yeah, he's a Cowboy streamer. Yeah,
he hates us because they haven't beat us.
That's right. Because
I'll say this before we get out of here. My brother made a good point. He's like, the Dolphins losing to the Bills is like the Rams losing to the 49ers. He's like, they just own us.
They own. Yeah, I said it. I tweeted it out. Yeah, Absolutely. And well, I had a Dolphins creator on, and I asked him about it last week. Johnny Cruz, the Yankee Finn is his handle on Twitter, and I
Great
asked
name.
him, and he's like, "Yeah, they do kind of own us." And I was like, interesting. I told him I thought the Bills might win because they have the better defense. You know, the Dolphins obviously have the crazy offense, but their D still, especially without Ramsey. And there you saw it, Cater Co. Who got absolutely
They've
roasted
had
by
some
Diggs.
secondary issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And Chubb is doing nothing.
Xavier Howard's a great corner, and he's a ball hawk. I think he leads the league in interceptions in the last few years. But Cater Kohu was a rookie in last year, and Diggs made him look like a rookie this year. So,
And they play their
uh,
defense kind of like the Niners. My brother's like, I don't understand. He's like, we have this Fangio guy, and all we do is sit there and play coverage and not blitz anybody. I was like, welcome to the Niners defense this year. Super vanilla.
yeah. Thanks, Nancy. Yeah, some people were telling me that I needed to admit that I was wrong about Purdy. And honestly, I don't know that I am yet, but I'm ready to say at least I'm wrong about the first 4 weeks, and we can go from
I'll
there.
just say I don't think he's as bad as your worst bad thought about him is, if that makes any sense. Like,
Yeah.
he may not be as good as a lot of people are saying that he is,
Right.
but in your mind, whatever negative in his game is that you feel, or
I mean,
whatever
I said all along I like him
misgivings,
a lot, and I mean that. I like him a lot. It's just I just hate the hyperbole. I hate that
you
he's
don't
better than
like you
Mahomes.
don't like people crowning people after less than a season's worth of games. I
Well, it's
totally
not just the
understand that.
seasons. It's like mostly bad and banged up defenses. That's why, and it still holds true unless you
But
count the Steelers as good. But like they were dog doo doo against us, and I don't think it's just our offense. I think it was they just weren't ready for that game. A lot of weird things happen in week one in the
I
NFL.
hope the fans behave and aren't brawls. I'm tired. Yeah, it's getting pretty
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah, it is.
That's another reason why I don't want to go to a game. I don't want to get beat up.
I
My
wanted
team.
to get rid of Elijah Mitchell off season.
So did
Aaron,
I.
yeah, we both did.
People are
So
like, "You're such a jerk. You're hating on him." I'm like, "He don't play.
we're just tired of it.
He doesn't play, but he's good when he plays. That's the problem. When he plays,
Yeah.
oh, you
So
can't get rid of him. Who you gonna go with? So and so he fumbled. Or are you gonna go with so and so he doesn't block? At least they
there
can
you go.
stay healthy. Like, I'm off the Elijah Mitchell bandwagon. I don't care how good he plays when he's in. He's always hurt. He
Yeah.
got hurt in practice. Doing what? Getting off the toilet? Getting out of the tub? Like, what happened?
No
I'm
doubt.
sorry. I have no sympathy for guys that are always hurt. If it's a mental health issue or some other like personal issue, that's one thing. But if your whole thing in the league is to work out and get yourself ready to play, and you can't, maybe you shouldn't be playing football, bro. I'm sorry.
No doubt. And then as far as for me for this week, I've got Coles tonight at 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern. Cowboys versus Niners. Cowboys content creator. I also have Bash on Friday, my
Okay.
usual Balling with Bash and Ted at 3. But then I also have another Cowboy fan. It'll be my guys up my fourth Cowboy fan this week, who's actually my
Nice.
old trainer from San Francisco, Onzo Bennett, and it might be his first time ever streaming. And he's a really cool dude, and I'm excited to chop it up with him. He was actually the one who encouraged me to do this. He's like, Ted, you're good at this. You need to go and pursue this and make this your thing because this is your passion and you're good at it. So go do it. So credit to Onzo for that. Here's somebody saying nice things, and we will get rid
Yeah, I saw that.
of you. Bye. Bye. Thanks for playing. I can handle some, back and forth on the timeline and the chat.
Somebody literally created a YouTube account just to come in here and call you
It's
trash.
probably the one I already disbanded.
Yeah, he's probably the same guy. He went and made another burner.
No doubt, no doubt. But anyway, bottom line is Onzo will be on at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And then I'm pretty open tomorrow. If there's any creators out there that want to collab tomorrow, I'm pretty open during West Coast business hours till about 4:15 Pacific Standard Time. So hit me up if you want to do something tomorrow.
I have two to be determined streams this week. I have a stream possibly on Saturday with Wayne Breezy on my channel.
Nice.
And I'm thinking of charling the stream when me and Breezy stream on my channel. A&W, like the root beer, Aaron and Wayne.
Yeah.
Like
I like
that.
that.
I finally thought of something. I'll have if we can do it, I'm gonna have Roscoe work on it. A&W instead of it like being a root beer. Maybe we'll take our little icons of our faces and put it on the can. I don't know. And then Rob Shoe possibly this Friday. He's
Nice. You guys are getting to be a
Rob is
regular thing.
Rob is, he's a busy guy and he's got a life
Yeah.
outside of YouTube. He doesn't do the YouTube thing as much anymore. And it's one of those things where like if he's into it and he wants to do it, he'll do it. So I don't pressure him, and that's what he respects. We respect each other's. We both. Everybody's got issues outside of YouTube and life. So as long as you respect people, usually they'll want to do stuff with you. So yeah, they're both kind of like TBD. So
Nice. Right on. Well, there we go. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Like I said, if you're on my channel, make sure you pop over to Aaron's 49ers First Takes, give him a like and subscribe. Same thing if you're on 49ers First Takes, pop over to TTB, Ted Talks Ball, give me a like and subscribe. Check out TTG if you have any retail or hospitality logistics needs. And we will see you guys in a week next Wednesday at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Peace. And go Niners. Beat the